Hello. I was gonna say hello and I was gonna say hello and it just welcome to the Bitching Dad. We're your hosts Bekah, Farid, and Tara. We're a webcast from the minds of the geeky eerie. We're here to bitch about stuff and things because somebody has to do it. And at this point, to be honest, I'm pretty much think it's just us. If you've not seen episodes 13 and 14 of The Walking Dead season 11, please turn back now. We are not responsible for any spoilers that you hear. We did warn you.
Please remember, this is recorded live, so we aren't exactly sure what's going to happen. Please forgive us for any technical difficulties or accidental or intentional swears. You can join the conversation with the hashtag #ThePitchingDead.
We'd like to remind all of you that the views expressed on this webcast are those of the hosts as individuals and do not necessarily represent the geeky area or the webcast itself as a whole.
All right, Farid, give us the news.
Yeah, of course. Starting with the ratings, I have them in front of me. So, as far as the ratings are concerned, episode number 11 ended up gaining a bit more of a couple of thousand more viewers for some reason,
Okay.
but it happened. So it ended up getting 1.67 million live viewers. However, episode
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We have
lost
We
him.
have a frozen Farid.
I don't know if he knows that he's frozen.
am I back?
Yeah, now
you're
you
back
are.
now.
But yeah, so episode number 11, it got 1.67 million live viewers. However, episode number 12 ended up falling again, and it gave us a new season low with 1.58 million people watching. So considering that I necessarily didn't hate these two episodes, I'm interested in seeing what the viewership is going to be like.
I mean,
Go ahead, Bekah.
I was just saying, like, it's not like we're watching this so they'll bring it back, you know, like we're not watching it so that we'll get another season of The Walking Dead. Thank God.
Thanks God, no.
Right?
I mean, we don't need another season. There's like 85 spin-offs coming, so.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was not happy about the spin-off announcement.
Well, that's what I was saying. It spoils, like, so now we know for sure that here's more characters that are, safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was bad enough when it was like every week I know that Daryl and Carol are fine.
Yeah, and now we know that Maggie and Negan are also going to be fine, which, okay. Okay, so I have the quote from Jeffrey in front of me. He was speaking on the Rich Eisen show. You guys are familiar with it?
No.
The Rich Eisen show. So, about the announcement, and Morgan said, I guess we don't need to die. Spoiler alert, for folks. Sorry, I'm still not sure why we announced that already. It was sort of a shocker to me.
Oh, wow.
They're desperately trying to, like, keep us interested in this
At this point, I am watching it to see who dies. You know,
yeah,
right,
or who, well, or I guess to put it better, like to see who survives. But like, Jesus Christ, like, what's going to happen? Like 2 months from now, like in between the part 2 and part 3 of this last season, we're going to get an announcement like, next up, you're getting a
Eugene and Gabriel spinoff.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. I might watch something with Gabriel in it. I like him. But I
mean, it's not even as if they have started filming for the spin-off. They could have announced it after season 11 ended.
It makes no sense to me. And yeah, it makes no sense. Like, that's not going to get you more viewers for your current season. Like, I don't know what marketing person thought that might, because that has to be what they thought. Well, maybe if we announce this, we'll get more viewers because the ratings are taking or something. It's like, no. Ugh, whatever.
And then he ended up clarifying on Twitter. He tweeted, personally, I don't even want to talk about the show right now. And I'm like, you and us both, Jeffrey. But
All of us.
yeah,
All of
but
us
he's like,
were not interested.
and then he continued, need to step away to be able to form cohesive, non-emotional thoughts. That it's going to take a minute. So I guess after he ended up saying that in your interview, the PR team was like, "Why are you doing this Why are you doing this to us, Jeffrey? You need to kind of apologize or something." So he basically tried to justify his initial quote by saying that he was just being emotional because as a fan, he didn't want other fans to be spoiled. Instead of being actually excited about getting a spin-off.
Yeah. I mean, it was just bad timing. And so, I mean, even announcing it like in between the two parts of the season would have been stupid. But now it's like, I don't know. It was bad. It was a bad decision on so many parts. Like I feel no worry, like no concern for 4 of the major characters now.
Yeah, and then there was this scene with
You
Daryl in
faded
episode
out.
number.
What?
You faded out, Tara.
Oh, I don't know.
You were saying you're like I feel bad for, and then it dropped out, and then it dropped out again, and then you said it's fine, whatever. Keep going.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, it could be my internet. It's really windy here today. Like Santa Ana's are going crazy, so I don't think I'll lose internet entirely, but it could be like just not very good right now. Anyway, so whatever, lame.
Yeah, we're getting the show is ending, but we're still getting Tales of the Walking Dead. What's the name of the spinoff? The Maggie and Negan
Island
Isle
of
the
the Dead.
Dead. Yeah, the Isle of the Dead, and then we're also getting Fear of the Walking Dead, and then the Carol and Daryl show. So 4 shows still going on after season number 11.
It's fine. Isn't it supposed to be like a
Miniseries.
Yeah, so I still think it's stupid as hell, but yeah, like I said on our last episode, we'll have to talk about my contract for this webcast if we're going to be expected to cover every 2 episodes at a time of these 1,800 spinoffs we're apparently getting.
Also, the actor who plays Victor Strand, he ended up saying that, you know what, I understand that some people have Walking Dead fatigue, but I personally enjoy it because there's still a whole lot of story that we can tell. So he's still in it.
I mean, it's not even that it's fatigue. Like, yes, there's some of that, particularly I think for us because we've had to keep up with it, regularly, right? Not like, Dean stopped watching it for 3 years and he's okay with it right now more than I am because he took time off and then he went back and caught up. So yes, some of it is fatigue, but some of it's also just the writing hasn't been good in so long. I don't know.
At least the writing in this season has been pretty good. I mean, not the best, but it's been pretty good.
No, you're not wrong there. Like I still don't love it, but you're right. It's
bearable.
Most days, anyway. Most episodes are sort of bearable. Oh. All right.
The humor tonight is really not in it. I'm just like, okay. Okay, so let's go on to season 11, episode 13, Warlords. I was excited about this episode because we have that person with the shaved head and the gauge is in, and I was like, yes, this is my type.
And I think she also was carrying around a Skype.
Yeah, she's carrying a Skype with her. Yeah.
And they basically wasted a very cool looking character.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
They wasted a cool. Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed that I'm hoping she didn't die, did she?
Not that I could see. No. Maybe she's still
Maybe she'll
alive.
be in the Megan and Nagy spin.
The Megan and Nagy.
Oops. I'm not even I'm just gonna leave that there as this.
Okay.
Negan and Negan.
Negan and Maggie. Maggie and
Yeah.
Miggy. We're in the Miggy. Okay, so favorite moments.
My favorite moment was during the car ride. I actually liked Maggie's point about the Commonwealth not being tested for 10 years, and that she's actually worried about being a part of it because she's like, you know what, when all of this is going down, I don't want to be there. So I like that. I don't want to be there. And that's what she was telling Lydia, that are you ready to be there if when all of this comes down, because these people haven't been tested properly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, and because of course, like these characters are going to be the ones, as we saw a little bit in the next episode, that are expected to like carry it if shit really does go down, right? Like none of those people can take care of themselves. They've all been living safe behind walls with cotton candy and ice cream and Halloween costume contests and shit.
And also, my other scene that I like was Negan basically being incapable of living on his own.
Oh,
He is incapable of living on his own, because I actually expected the show to show him on his own, because in the comics, there were issues that had panels showing Negan being on his own, trying to survive on his own. So I thought that the show was going to give us some of those scenes. But no, he ended up finding someone, as we saw in the upcoming episode. Like, I'm like, really, Negan? Really? You couldn't be on your own?
I mean, listen, as humans are creatures, like tribal creatures, and
tribal. Okay.
I mean, I don't mean that in a.
No, I know.
Okay, I mean that in the historical sense of the word. We are tribal creatures, and I don't, yes, some of these characters have been on their own, could be on their own, but Negan, I mean, his whole life before he got put in the cell was building a community around himself. And yeah, it does not surprise me in the least that he would go searching for another, not situation like that. But, and also we don't really know how he ended up with them in the first place. Like he definitely went off on his own. Like maybe we'll get a flashback episode.
How long has he been on his own? It's been what, a month? A little longer than a month?
No, I think it's been longer at this point. Like it had been. No, it definitely has to have been longer, because something comes up in the next episode where he's definitely been with these people for more than 12 weeks. Let's just say that.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I think,
okay.
Because it looks like the next episode is going to be going back to that 6 months later scene where Daryl shows up at the Hilltop Gates. So I think we've had, I don't know about a time skip, a huge, I guess we've had the time skip and just didn't notice it. Maybe. Ugh, this show. Ugh. Time is relative and everything is fake.
I will say that whole jumping around, like 1 week later, or 1 week before, 1 week before that, 1 week in a day. And I was like, stop.
Yeah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Maybe the 5 people who still watch Walking Dead on fucking cable television do, but the rest of us do not. Walking Dead. Okay, so I didn't really have any favorite moments from this episode. It's not like the worst episode of this show I've ever seen, but I really was just kind of like, no.
I mean, there was the character that comes out with the scythe was not wearing a bra, and I know that sounds kind of like silly that I noticed that, but like in the apocalypse, I straight up am gonna ditch all bras.
Oh, see, I'd be the opposite. I'd be like every sports bra that's ever existed and been known to man is going to be in my possession, so that I always have the what meager what meager
support.
what meager gifts I have are just more so like if you're running and stuff, like I have to wear like at least medium sports bras to be comfortable when I'm running. So for me, it's like no, I want those girls strapped in and ready to go at all times.
Well, I hurt all the time. So in the apocalypse, small bra, big bra, doesn't matter to me. My bazongas are just gonna be dealing, double, triple D damage. I don't know. I just.
Oh my god, we need new bitching dead art where Bekah's weapon is her bazongas.
my bazongas. Right, get the drawing, Farid. Draw your friends' bazongas.
NC-17.
I've just got my boobs and I'm just hitting walkers with them like bam, bam, bam.
Oh my god.
I was attached knives to them so I can. Okay. Those are not nipples. Those are knives. I don't know. I liked these guys. Like even though they were literally there for like less than 30 minutes. I don't know. I kind of liked them as like they weren't even bad guys because then we found out that Carlton was that his name Carlton? Toby Carlton? Yeah, Toby Carlton.
Toby Carlton.
Yeah, he was a fucking weirdo. Boo.
It was to me it was so weird because like I don't want to jump ahead, but like find out from the next episode like the rest of these people that were with him, even Negan currently, they're not like why were they following this creeper? He is maybe some of them were bad, but it just seems like because he talking about like we got cannibals, we got this, we got that. And it's like, I wasn't sure if he was just making references to just just people overall in the apocalypse, or if he was talking about his people. This episode was I had to watch it twice and I still lost about 40% of it.
He was talking about the people that they had killed.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
These people are the bad guys. These people are, these people are the cannibals. These people are the marauders. These people are the murderers. I killed them to keep my people safe. Okay. And, so that's what, and then he said to get the meat. And I was like, what meat? And then I realized he was talking about people. I was like, Jesus Christ. But, honestly, cannibalism is probably way more rampant in the apocalypse than we realize. We had Terminus and we had, who else did we have? I think Terminus really was the big cannibal thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bob Sookie. Remember him and his tainted meat? His leg. Was his leg or his arm?
His leg. His leg. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're probably right that we've seen more cults than cannibals, honestly. But
yeah,
the at this point, it's like, oh my god, it's just is every group they meet other than the Commonwealth going to be a cult? Like
the Commonwealth is kind of a cult too, though, in a way.
Well, in a way,
not like a culty cult, but they're never mind. I don't know where I was going with that.
Least favorite moments.
I just want to I don't have any, or I don't know. Maybe I have too many. This episode was all over the place to me. I honestly blocked most of it out right after watching it last week, and I didn't even realize I'd done that until I tried to watch episode 14 yesterday and was like, I don't know what's going. Like, I kind of only vaguely remembered why they were where they were and how they got there, and I didn't remember any details. And I was like, if I'm going to talk about this episode, I got to watch it again. So I did, like, just a couple hours ago, and I still retained clearly, per the, I didn't even remember what that guy was talking about exactly with the cannibals, etc. Like, I still retained very little of the information or whatever. I don't know. I know it wasn't the worst episode ever, but yeah, like I I had no favorite moments. But I can't even say necessarily that I had least favorite moments, because I had, like, you felt this way about one of the episodes that we covered 2 weeks ago, Bekah, and that's kind of how I am here. I'm like, I wasn't interested in any of it, because, like, yes, characters that we have been following for a long time were in the episode, but it was mostly about all these new characters, and I don't know, it just felt dumb, and I hated it. I don't know. Hate is a strong word. It felt dumb, and I just kind of wish it didn't exist. Maybe just in that, like, I don't even know if I care enough about it to hate it. I probably don't. Anyway, so you guys though might have least favorite moments. We have a frozen Farid again.
Oh, Farid's frozen. I was wondering why I suddenly got so quiet.
There you go. Well, you have sound back now. Someday, when Farid is in Canada, we will not have these issues, hopefully.
Hopefully.
They have internet in Canada, Farid. He laughs, but every time he laughs, he's making a mental note that he's gonna punch me every time I make a joke like that.
It's a long list.
I didn't mean to scream. I don't know why I scream laughed. Anyway.
But yeah, it was okay. It was an okay episode. Nothing stood out as a least favorite moment for me.
Like I said, I didn't hate it. I thought the writing was pretty good. I didn't really have any gripes or WTF moments. Carlton was very strange, and then I realized what the long game was. Like, it took me a while though to be like, oh, he's absolutely bonkers. And the whole, like, he's been sober, but then he, like, stuck his finger in the glass and was like rubbing on his gums. I was like, bro, this man is up to no good. But yeah, okay, so that's really all I have to say. Farid, what is yours?
Yeah, as far as the gripes go, like, Aaron working for an NGO, is that new? Or was there information shared?
I see, it's been so long, right, that I don't know if it was ever necessarily explicitly stated, but I think if it wasn't very explicitly stated, he definitely talked about the thing that because that's why he had the job of helping bring people into Alexandria in the first place, right? So he might not have ever said specifically, I worked for an NGO, but I think he talked about what he did before and how it. And no, I know he did. Like, I know he did, because it didn't surprise me when he said that. And Dean was like, wait, NGO? I was like, yeah, non-governmental organization. Like, he worked for, like a immigration, thing or something like that. Right. Or refugee, something along those lines. So yeah, it might not have been exactly him saying at some point, yeah, I worked for an NGO, but I don't think that's, like, necessarily totally new information either. Just maybe not explicitly stated. I've been rewatching Walking Dead, but, like, I went to Hawaii, so I'm still stuck in season 3. Maybe maybe a month from now or 2 or something, I'll be like, hey guys, I found that episode where Aaron talks about what he did. But I mean, regardless, like, I whatever he did, before, it definitely, even if he didn't explicitly state that, we did know for sure that he had something to do with working with people and helping people and bringing them into new places, new things, whatever. So.
Also, my other interesting thing was the Commonwealth having a freaking assassin. I'm like, okay, so the Commonwealth has assassins. There are mercenaries out there as well. Like, our main group, if you look at them, technically, it's a very weak group.
It's not
Carol, Daryl, Rick. Like, these are very weak people.
Well, it's not even that he's an assassin. He's just an ex-CIA agent. And, well, I guess, did they mention that he was a mercenary?
No, I'm not saying that he was a mercenary. Like, before like Daryl's group. What was the name of the girl? Leah.
Yeah.
Leah's group were mercenaries, right? The previous big bad.
Special. I think they were special
Yeah.
ops or something, which is basically a nice family-friendly way of saying that they were government mercenaries.
Yeah, mercenaries. So I was like there are a whole of dangerous people out there, and our core group is quite weak if you think about it.
Yeah.
I flashed back to that moment where they were trying to take down one of the mercenaries, and Elijah was injured. Maggie tried to fight, couldn't win, and then Negan had to come in with a bucket.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the
Right?
bucket.
They can't fight. Our core group is quite weak.
I mean, Carol's not.
In a sense, like, do you really think that if it's a serious fight between Carol and Toby, Carol is going to win?
Well,
In a
I
fight
mean,
between Carol and Toby, Carol absolutely is going to win. She's gonna kick his ass. He's a little bitch boy.
I feel like it's less about a fight and more about whether or not they're like like Carol is absolutely intelligent enough to not get in that fight and just like assassinate in the dark, like we'll talk about that more in a bit. Carol is scary. I would not in any way, shape, or form call her weak. She knows how to read people. She knows how to play people. That said, yeah, these aren't the people that we have left now. Sure, they never had that like government training or anything, but again, it turns out that even that government training doesn't do you too well sometimes. So just saying.
Like, yeah. Prep time. Our people have prep time. Give Carol enough prep time and she can kill anyone. She's the Batman. She's the Batman of The Walking Dead. Give her prep time.
Carol is the what?
The Batman of The Walking Dead.
Batman. Oh, yeah. Does that make Daryl Robin? I guess. Anyway, okay. Anything else to say?
Not about this episode. Or well, I will say actually one quick thing. The conversation between Maggie and the child whose name
Lydia?
I can never. Lydia, thank you. I keep wanting to call her Enid, and I know she's not Enid.
Enid's head's almost like.
Yeah, I know. But the conversation between Maggie and Enid in the car, I was just like, whoever wrote this never lived on a farm or owned a farm. Like I get what story they were trying to tell here, but this whole like we let all of our cows die while this food sat rotting on the side of the road. Blah, blah, like, no, that's
but Maggie.
No.
But Maggie said that they didn't lose a single cow.
She did. For some reason, I thought she said that. But they still let their I don't know. That whole thing was just like, no.
Yeah, she said that they didn't lose a single cow.
Yeah,
Must
that
be nice,
was a dumb. Yeah, it was a dumb story, and I didn't like it. On it, like I get what point they were trying to make, but it was dumb. It was bad. I don't know.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to season 11, episode 14, The Rotten Core. Okay, so favorite moments. Farid and Tara are blank. I think I might be the only person that's excited about this, but also simultaneously kind of pissed off.
No. I think mine is blank because I couldn't really think of anything to put for our favorite moments. I liked this episode, right? But I didn't like nothing. I think because I liked it on the whole, it was like picking out one thing. I guess it was the Carol stuff at the end. It was the Carol. It was everything with Carol in this episode was my favorite. Like how she knew that something was wrong and went after her friends, and then she had that conversation with Lance at the end, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, the Carol stuff were favorite moments overall.
I will say that this is probably my favorite episode of the entire season, probably the last several seasons. I I weirdly felt very emotional. Although I will say I'm taking this new medicine that makes me cry a lot. So that could be it. But I thought this was very well written. There were issues I had with it, obviously, but it was issues with the story itself, not because of the writing of the story. Does that make sense? Like we talked about creators versus fans, or fans versus creators. It was one of those situations where I was like, wow, I wish they hadn't done that. Or rather that I was angry. And I think that that's a good thing, because this character is a piece of shit, Sebastian. So my favorite stuff, I'm excited Negan's going to be a dad. Because wasn't his wife trying to get pregnant whenever she got sick? Or something like that?
Yeah, I
Like,
think so.
She was pregnant?
Yeah, I was either
she couldn't get pregnant, right? They were trying, but she couldn't get pregnant.
Yeah, it was something like that. And then she had the cancer. So, like, because Negan had always had this special connection to kids. And so it was really good writing with Herschel and Negan. I did actually cry a little bit. I enjoyed the back and forth between them, where Herschel realizes that Negan is the guy who killed his dad, and Negan is like, and then Negan's like, hey, you know, whenever you grow up a little bit, come to me and we'll talk about it man to man. Which Negan is kind of accepting the fact that Herschel may kill him in retaliation. And he's just kind of accepted that. And then of course, is her name Annie or Angie? Or neither? Angie, Negan's new wife. So she's like, yeah, I know what he's done, you know, but he's not that man anymore. And Maggie had to be kind of like, okay, so now he has this kid coming into the world. You know, am I going to deprive a child of his father, just like Negan deprived my child of his father? Also, I really liked the situation with Mercer coming in with Carol after Daryl and Rosita and April were stuck in the room with the walkers. They were trying to get the money for Sebastian, which, oh my God, if I ever, Sebastian, hands on sight, I swear to God. And I like how Mercer's kind of realizing what's going on. But I think he's always kind of known. He didn't realize it was this bad, I think. You know, he's always known that, like, Sebastian has been shitty, but he hasn't realized that all these people have gone missing. And then he just kills the other two, which I was kind of like, why would he do that? But then I realized that it really is a situation where you have to kill the people involved in order to keep this from spreading. So there were a lot of things about this episode I liked, but I'm going to go ahead and push it on to the next person.
They need to give those meds to more people so that they enjoy these episodes more. Whatever you're taking, Bekah.
Oh my gosh. I oscillate back and forth between rage and sobbing. So it's kind of like, which one's it gonna be today? If you have epilepsy, let me know. I'll give you this med. You'll enjoy The Walking Dead a lot more.
Oh God. I don't know. So well, I guess have we already done the favorite moments?
No, we're talking about favorite moments now.
Okay, no, I mean, I couldn't remember if Farid had. So Farid, you had favorite moments though.
I had
no
favorite moments from this episode.
Oh, okay.
Favorite moments. Yeah.
It's I mean, like I said, like
I about the Carol stuff.
Yeah, I picked that out because it's not even one single moment, but you know, Carol was good in this episode. I mean, not that Carol's ever like the worst, but in this particular episode, she did a lot of. She was Carol. She was very Carol. Okay, so if you don't have any favorite ones, then what about least favorite ones? Because okay, I'll just start because you know, Bekah already talked about Negan, like, oh, he has a wife and she's pregnant and yay, and I'm over here just like, Negan has a pregnant. Wait, hold on, that's another gripe. Oh no, mine was my least favorite moment was fucking Leah. That's her name, right?
Yeah.
Leah, really.
Yeah.
She took this whole Commonwealth convoy out by herself. Like, who the fuck is she, Rambo? Like, what? That's it. Like at the very end, you know, you could. It was I was pretty sure it was her. Like when you see like kind of the end of the blonde hair and everything, and like I was thinking back to like when I used to actually give a shit about the show and cosplay from it, how excited I would have gotten about like a badass like blonde character that I could like cosplay and not wear a wig for, and like now I'm just like, oh my god, this bitch. How is she still like? How did she take out the entire Commonwealth convoy? This is nonsense. That's all I have to say.
If I was in the writer's room, I would have replaced Leah with Beth.
Oh my gosh, that would be so funny.
That would have been a moment.
That's like super like the bullet like
Right,
pulls out of her brain and her brain like seals back together. And oh my god, that would be so good. Farid, I'm gonna write a fanfic about this. Anyway.
Yeah, so that was my least favorite moment because I was just like, what is going on? Like how is this even
how and why? Just write her off. No one likes her.
Yeah.
There's about her either as a villain. Like the only reason why we were like, who is this bitch? Is whatever the whole I almost said Devin. God, Devin's my ex-boyfriend from college. The whole Daryl thing. Like that's the only reason. The only reason I cared about her is because she completely disrupted his characterization, and she gave him dog. That's literally it. Like I have not.
Yeah.
She has no interesting backstory. She has no like. I just don't care about her.
Mm-hmm. Nope, same. And I like. Oh my god! Stop trying to make Leah happen.
It's never going to happen.
As far as my least favorite moment is concerned, it's like basically this was the Forgive Negan Already episode. And I was like, I don't want to. I really don't want to.
I mean, you don't have to forgive him.
I want him to be killed by Maggie. I want that to be a thing in the
Same.
spin-off. I want him to die. Or at least die protecting Maggie. Just die.
That would be nice. I wonder if his wife is going to be a part of the whole
Isle of the Walking Dead. Isle of the Dead thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe she gets kidnapped or something.
Maybe. Okay, so what else? Oh, least favorite moment. So I said the same thing. Leah. Also, I hate watching Daryl and Rosita become lackeys. Like they're so much better than that. And then also my least favorite moment is also my favorite moment. Negan's gonna be a dad. Yay. Yeah. So we've actually gone through this fairly quickly. Any other
Well,
is there more?
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, is there any more gripes and WTF moments?
Yes.
Yes, which is what we have. This is where our meat is. I have an eyelash that's like sticky in my eye and I can't get it out. So y'all gonna have to deal with me making funny faces.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I almost said this earlier, but it's not like I hate this, but it's more like Negan has a pregnant wife already. Lord,
like, he moves fast.
He does. I mean,
he looks like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So
this is yeah. This is harkening back to the 12 weeks thing when we were trying to figure out the timeline. So she's 12 weeks pregnant. Mm-hmm. So it's the wife thing. I was like, oh, come on, really? But then the pregnant thing, I was like, okay, so is that why they're married? But also, it doesn't really matter either way. Already Negan has a pregnant wife. And also just like, this wasn't a least favorite moment, but I'm just feeling really weird about it. The Herschel confronting Negan. It feels not great to me that Maggie gave this child details about Glenn's death like that. Like, this kid shouldn't have to grow up with that. Like, sure, tell him his father was brutally murdered, but maybe leave out like some stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, Also, child, you're a child. Like, yeah, you have the gun on Negan right now, but he could literally reach out and smack it out of your hand. Like, I you know, I don't know. I like it again. It's not like a hatred of this moment thing. It's not a least favorite moment. I don't really love the idea that Maggie must have, I guess, at some point sat Herschel down and been like, this guy, and gave him like all the details. When he was older, sure, like absolutely tell him his father was like brutally murdered and like was trying to take care, like tell him the good things about Glenn, right? Tell him that he's lost and it was, yeah, it was bad because this world is dark and hard, but like the who, what, where, why, when exactly just seems a little bit like
does he know it? Does he know exactly? All he knows is that a bad man killed his father.
Oh, how else would he have immediately been like, you're the guy who killed my father? Because Maggie wasn't there, like interacting or with or reacting to Negan. He just knew. So yeah, that was where my problem with it lay.
A bad guy in a leather jacket. I don't know. Because
Herschel
was he wearing a leather jacket in this episode?
No,
exactly.
What was he wearing? A coat? What was he wearing? He was wearing something.
He was wearing things.
Yeah.
Do they wear things in Pakistan?
Thankfully.
I'm about to hold on. I'm actually about to pull this up for just a second. Give me
what he was wearing.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself. Hold on.
But yeah, so that was, I again, like, it wasn't like I hate this. I can't really describe how I feel about it other than that I didn't like it. It's a great.
And also Herschel like hiding in the truck and Maggie not realizing it kind of felt out of character for him, because I thought Herschel was more mature than that as a kid.
I also felt like Maggie should have been more observant than that.
Negan is wearing a black fabric coat.
It's fabric, not leather, but it is black.
Yeah.
Still, there's no way that this kid could have known unless he'd known.
Little pig.
Details. Oh God, no! Don't bring me back to that.
If Negan still had the baseball, it would have made more sense that the kid saw Negan with the baseball bat and he was like, oh.
Yeah, but very specifically a baseball bat with the barbed wire around it.
Yeah.
Like something. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. So anyway, so those are my gripes. You guys?
Sebastian is the worst.
Which one's Sebastian again?
He's the son of he's Milton's son.
Wait, what?
He's the son.
Sebastian,
the Emperor's son. It's not the Emperor's son. He's the
Governor's. You said Milton.
Son. Yeah,
is
Milton,
that her last name?
Yeah.
That's her name.
Why didn't they give her a different name? Because again, I am rewatching Walking Dead, and I'm in the midst of season 3, and it feels kind of stupid to have a Milton. To have a Milton.
Look,
I know it's whatever. Anyway,
let's be real. There are like 500 Britneys in the apocalypse. Okay, so everybody has to have a different name at the very least. Like Toby and Tobin.
Yeah, like listen, like Game of Thrones changed character names from the books because they thought they were too close. Now, don't get me wrong, they were stupid about it. Like, okay, so Asha sounds too close to Osha, so you change Asha's name to Yara, which somehow doesn't sound too close to Arya. Stupid, but yeah, there's a lot of this. Like, come on, Milton. Anyway, whatever. That's not even a random gripe. That's just an overall like. Really, Milton? I don't care that it's been like 85,000 seasons. Anyway.
But yeah, Sebastian is the worst. I agree with Bekah. But they could have killed him right there and then, but...
Go ahead, Bekah, go ahead.
I don't know, just having to watch Rosita and Daryl play with that guy. Basically just play little pawns in his game. It's just like, it's so frustrating.
I
Because
really thought
and
Rosita was going to die.
I did too, actually. I was like, this is it. This is fucking it.
She's
And
definitely not living through the
no,
end,
she's not.
right?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know though. They are in kind of a place where it's more or less safe, but they've also put her in a position of where the character can also be in danger. So,
Well, and
it's
she
not like
also, more than Daryl, knows what's going on with the revolution backstage. So
we also haven't seen, like, they only showed that at the very end of the episode. We haven't seen it again. So I'm confused. Anyway, but like the whole thing about like whenever Sebastian said your kids to Daryl and Rosita, my heart swelled briefly. I was like, Daryl's the dad, and then it like stopped, and I was like, motherfucker. And then he's like, I could just nobody's gonna kill your kids. I could just make it so they have a better life. And I was like, you asshole piece of shit. This character is just like, and the thing is that he's not even like, I don't even know how to describe him. Like, he's not even that he's like Joffrey, because a lot of my friends have been describing him as like a Joffrey-esque character that still watch the show, and I'm like, he's not Joffrey.
No.
He's not a Joffrey character. He's very, God, I don't know.
whiny,
I wish I could just whiny,
useless.
yes, whiny and useless, but he's not like truly evil. He's just very entitled. And it's very frustrating to have to watch.
I think that's the problem though. Like, okay, so yeah, he's not like Joffrey is like sadistic, right?
Yeah.
And maybe Sebastian doesn't have that in him, but the amount of entitlement that he has is certainly lending a very evil, bad cast to his entire character. He might not be sadistic in the way Joffrey is in Game of Thrones, but he's bad. He's kind of, at this point, he's almost kind of the worst, because they know that if they don't go along with it, like, he's threatening their children, and he's like, oh, I didn't threaten your children. Yeah, bullshit, motherfucker. Like, we know what you're doing.
And he's okay with killing people, having people killed. He's okay with it.
Yeah. See, I briefly forgot, like, whenever he was talking about the drugs and stuff, I was like, bro, it's the apocalypse. But then you talked about the cash, and I was like, okay, who gives a shit? And then I realized the cash is still used in the Commonwealth.
And they control it. Like, they took away. Did they ever give Princess her $2 back? Her $2 bill?
Yes, she did get it back.
But I mean, but they only gave it back because it's like, okay, this is a memento thing, and she's not going to try to use it. And also, how many $2 bills do they really have in circulation anyway? Like, if she did try to use it, it would be an immediate like red flag. But they're controlling it hardcore, and he's over here just like, my mom cut off my allowance, so like, go through that horde of zombies and get the cash out of my friend's dad's safe. Like, and then you find out, that's bad enough. And then you find out that they've been sending people to do this for God knows how long.
I was I was also very confused because then whenever they say that they got the money, what is his name? Lance was like, oh, finally they got the money. And then I was like, wait a second, how did he know what they were doing? Are like he and Sebastian like in cahoots, or like, they are?
Yeah.
I don't think we were supposed to have known that beforehand, but yeah, I think that was the reveal, right? That they've been working together on kind of, which it makes it even worse because, like, listen, like, Lance is crappy, but like, and we knew that already, but to also then find out that he is egging on this, because he's just using him, right? He knows this kid's an idiot. Like, Lance is unfortunately smart enough to know that this kid is an idiot. But so I think he's using Sebastian, and Sebastian thinks he's using Lance, but no, my child, you are a goddamn idiot. It is all Lance.
Yeah. Yeah, and he also is obviously he and Carlson. I found it was Carlson, not Carlton. Maybe Carlton. I don't fucking know. I don't care. They also were in cahoots as well. So like, how many operations does this guy have going on behind the scenes that we don't know about? And that, well, obviously we're gonna find out, because clearly the governor doesn't know.
The governor again with the.
I mean, oh, one eye.
Yeah, I mean, Lance is. Are they trying to? Do we think? Okay, this moves into theories, but are we okay with that? For me to ask this question that moves us into theories, or is there still other gripe stuff?
No, we can go ahead and go into theories. I'm fine
Because
with that.
I hadn't really thought about this, but this moves us into the theory, I guess, that is Lance. Is he working toward something more than just kind of pushing himself up the ladder, right?
I think that
he seems to be pretty dirty.
Okay, I'm gonna write down what I think.
Like I go ahead, Farid, go ahead.
I agree with you, Tara, because in the previous episode we saw that he has his own plans, and Governor Milton knows about his plans. She knows that he's cunning, but she hasn't done it. Yeah, but she hasn't done anything to stop him. But yeah, I think he wants to be the supreme leader, basically. He wants what he didn't have before the apocalypse, and now he wants it after the apocalypse. Because even before the apocalypse, he was working for Milton's family. He wasn't a big name in politics himself.
Yeah. But he's he's just like Bekah was saying, like he has all these different kind of eggs in different baskets, right?
Some in many pies.
Yeah, and we know he's working toward bringing in these other communities, whatever. And it's also like, dude, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think like you're going to bring these communities in and they're just going to be like, but Lance brought us in, so obviously he's the good guy? Like, I think, yeah. These people have been surviving on their own for how long? Like, none of them are dumb enough to fall for your bullshit. Or maybe not none of them, but certainly not the important people. Carol. Trying to fool Carol. Psh. This woman has murdered children. Okay.
You don't lie to Carol. Carol
Pelletier and people like.
Yeah, Carol has murdered children. That's it. Like
people.
That could even make Toby shake in his boots. The assassin.
Which one's Toby? Is he the one that's dead now?
Carl.
Yeah.
They're all dead. Carlton.
I don't know. We both did it at the same time.
But yeah, I want Lance to die, and I want Carol to be the one to kill him.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that the chances of it being someone other than Carol at this point are pretty slim. That scene at the end where they're in the office, right? And she goes in there to feel him out. Like she's already, we've been able to see, like, with the time she spent with him, she's already read him a little bit, right? But she's more with Carol at this point, before that scene, she had been trying to feel out just how bad he was. Like, she knew he was problematic, right? But she was trying to feel out how bad he was. So she goes in at the end of this episode to his office, whatever, and has that conversation with him. And it's just like, as far as I could tell, I'm not wrong here, right? He didn't see through her, like, disgust with him. Because she's like,
because she basically went into the office to basically snitch on Sebastian. She's the one who told him what Sebastian was doing, and he just came out clean. He was like, "Yep, finally they got the money. We have been trying for a very long time." And Carol was like, "Oh, okay."
She's like, cool. Now she's slowly like writing his
Mhm.
name in her death note.
Oh my god, she's going back. She's going back to her apartment, and she's gonna be Arya.
Yes.
Governor Milton, Lance, just listing the names, Sebastian, listing the names of people she needs to kill. Thankfully, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name now. The big leader guy.
Mercer.
Thank you. I was like, I was about to say something else because I've been fed the name Milton so many times in this episode. Thankfully, she knows that Milton. Jesus, I almost did it again. Thankfully, she knows that Mercer is a good guy. Like,
Yeah.
dude, when he just was like, bam, bam, I was like, like I mean, I think we've talked about this before. We kind of knew that, you know, whether he might have been, you know, somewhat culpable in some of the bullshit that's happened, right? But never he's always been, I think, so stoic that it's and he's definitely known for a long time that things are really problematic, but this was the first time you see him just like pop off, right?
Yeah.
And when he did that, I was like, thank you, because like those guys needed to go. Like they were literally just errand boys. And the other thing is like, so I guess they were telling the truth when they said that Daryl and Rosita's sector was covered, though, because it didn't seem like Daryl and Rosita were going to get in trouble for not doing the job they were originally assigned to do. Because that was the other thing I was worried about, was that it was just a ploy to like get them in trouble for a bit.
That's what I thought initially too. Like initially I thought that they were like, because Daryl kind of was like sarcastically clapping or whatever whenever he was like, whenever what's his ass, and I was like, oh god, he's gonna
I think that was absolutely why they did that. But yeah, I was worried it was just some ploy to get them in trouble, and it turned out to be way more than that.
Yeah, and he kind of was like, all right, you guys think you're so fancy, then you guys can walk through the walkers and deal with it. And
yeah, because before them, Lance told Carol that the people they sent before them were basically criminals, or they had done something bad,
had accrued like a big debt, and they were trying to pay off.
I don't think they were criminals. I think they were people who had maybe made mistakes, like not straight up criminals. They hadn't harmed anybody. They weren't like bad people, but I mean, this woman said like I had accrued a bunch of. I think they were mostly. Also, though, where are they accruing this debt from? Like, don't they have to? How is this even happening?
Maybe there's like a secret gambling.
My credit score is only 200 in the apocalypse.
I mean, well, he does mention that his mom cut off his credit, so maybe everybody there has a kind of line of credit, and these people just could not pay off their bills. I mean, and he promised them a cut of the money if they would do this.
Oh, for sure, he promised them that. Like, that's, you know, obviously, but also it was bad enough when the woman is like, there were 12 of us and I'm the only one left, but then you find out that they've sent like 30 fucking groups of people into this just impossible situation. Like Daryl and Rosita only survived because not only were they covered in guts, but they still had their armor. Yeah. I'm still shocked that we didn't lose Rosita in this episode. Like knowing she's most likely going to die before the end of the series is like, I was when she took off her armor, I looked at Dean and I was like, oh, she dying. Like, but then it was the girl wearing her armor that died somehow. Like, it's very okay, whatever, Walking Dead. I guess thank you for surprising me.
Yeah, because I didn't think that Rosita was going to die, because if Rosita had died during such a mission, Daryl would have killed Sebastian. He would have come out and killed Sebastian, regardless of what would have happened to him. He would have just gone and killed that kid.
Not to mention fucking Eugene. Like, don't forget
man.
Eugene exists. Like, Rosita is his BFF, basically.
Mhm.
You know, like, I think if or when she dies, if Eugene realizes that anybody had a hand in it, there's going to be some problems. At least I hope so, because he's already on edge anyway. And now this, like, please, Eugene, show us that sometimes you can be a little bit of a badass.
Strangling someone with his rat tail, like.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Stop.
wild.
Stop, I'm dead.
Oh my gosh.
They check
I
him
mean-
for weapons. He comes into a room. They check him for weapons just to make sure. And then he goes and ends up killing someone with his rat tail. And he's like, you didn't check this weapon. It could have. Yeah, speaking of people possibly dying, do you think Negan's wife is going to die?
No,
I hope not.
I don't think so. And she's pregnant. I don't think they would do that. Like, I know that sounds.
Lori died.
Yeah,
but she was super pregnant. Like, I don't think they would
she
kill
was
like
super pregnant.
she was. Yeah, I know, but she was like
died giving birth. She died
giving birth. Like, it's different. Like, I don't think they would kill somebody. The Walking Dead is not quite like that. I don't think that they would kill somebody who is, 3 or 4 months pregnant. I don't think they would do that. So I think she's safe
for a bit anyway.
Until the baby is born.
Getting back to Carol though.
Getting back to Carol. Oh,
I'm just saying, like, theories, like, we all, like, if Carol does not have not just a hand in, but also just straight up be the person who murders Lance, like, is it murder? Who kills Lance for being the absolute, like, fucking cuck that he is?
It's justice. My name is Vengeance. Carol doing the entire Batman thing.
Oh my
Coming
God.
out of the shadows.
With her wig. Oh my God. High five, Farid.
My name is Vengeance.
Beware my wig. Seriously though, Carol is, like, when she turned, I mean, of course, like, that whole conversation, you could tell, Lance obviously couldn't, but I could tell. I was like, oh, Carol mad. You pissed off Carol. This is bad, dude. This is bad. You are on the shit list. You're on
the worst face.
You're on her bedtime. You're on her bedtime. I'm gonna kill you list. But when she turned around and she made that face, I was just like, yes. What do you think? Are there 2 more episodes or 1 in this like part of the season?
Isn't it done? Wasn't this the mid-season finale for part 2?
Hold on, I'm looking it up because I thought there was at least 1 more. You may be right though.
Yeah, this was it.
Really? Oh, for some reason I thought there was gonna be, and of course it's not coming up now.
Yeah, there's nothing on Wikipedia. It ends with episode number 14.
Okay, well, weird, but I guess and then I expect Lance to not live very long when we come back with this bullshit.
And also knowing what we know about Mercer basically being a good guy, that entire interaction between Maggie, Daryl, and Mercer at the hilltop, the 6-month gap, time jump. I think now they're going to, like, they basically spoiled that too. I mean, it's clear that all of them are going to work together in order to take down the Commonwealth now.
See, that was where I was confused because, like, there was like a preview for like what's coming up, and I think I thought that there was more in this part of the season because it felt like there was going to be like at least one more episode.
How many episodes was part 1?
It was the
Part
usual.
1
It was the usual
was-
8. That's why I thought there was. I
There
thought there
should
were
be
going to be
16 in part 2, right?
Right, so we're only at 14, and that's where I'm confused. But you're right. I'm googling
confused
the
too.
shit out of it right
Yeah.
now, and I'm not finding like anything. Okay, wait. Yeah, no, there's definitely got to be more because because it says like this season premiered August, and there's going to be 22 episodes. Why would they have 8 episodes here, or eight episodes in the front and only 6 episodes now, and then 10 in the part. I don't know. This is very weird. So we don't know, apparently, but as far as I'm seeing, I'm not seeing any episode titles or anything or air dates. Oh, wait. Hold on. Yep. I found it. Trust, April 3rd, and God, April 10th.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? This is why. Okay, so because they're airing them so early on AMC Plus, we're like a little bit ahead, I think.
Oh.
I think that's what it is. So yeah, they're as far as I am seeing right now on walkingdead.fandom.com, it says that there's Trust and God episodes 15 and 16 on April 3rd and April 10th.
We'll find out by this week.
Yeah. Anyway, so all that said, please, Carol, kill the fuck out of Lance. Like that's all. that's my theory, and also everything that I'm hoping for.
Also, I thought that Mercer was in charge of all the peacekeepers, whatever they're called, stormkeepers, peace troopers. I thought that they were all, he was in charge of all of them, but then the other guys say, you can't tell us what to do to Mercer.
I think
because
that
Sebastian ranks higher than Mercer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is gross, but
okay.
Anyway, do we have anything else?
I don't think. Oh, theories. I don't know. I just put out some stupid stuff. I said Lance was creating his own. He's trying to create his own place, top of Milton. I said Daryl saved Sebastian? ? I'd love to see Mercer in charge, but he's in charge, so y'all answered that for me.
Well, he is, but he's not.
Yeah.
Because clearly people can, if they're under Sebastian's, purview, they don't have to report to him or whatever. I mean, although they said that like their cartridges still get counted. So.
Oh yeah, they're tracked. Yeah.
Which, oops, because Mercer definitely used the bunch.
Okay, so I guess wrap up. Recommendations. I don't necessarily have any recommendations, but if you've not seen Upload Season 1, watch it. It's on
Amazon
Prime. They just recently uploaded Season 2. I have not watched it yet, but that's on my list because I really liked Season 1.
Uploaded Season 2?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Dean to watch Season 1 because he didn't. And I did, and he's like, but you already watched it. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I want to watch Season 2. So. I could rewatch. It's been a while. I don't really have any, I haven't watched anything new at all, honestly. I've kind of been, I don't know. It's I watched The Adam Project.
How is that? I've heard a lot of...
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Listen, it's not groundbreaking or amazing or anything, but it was enjoyable. Cam, 15-year-old, wanted to watch it, so we sat down and watched it together, and it was good. It was enjoyable. I think I don't think anybody would hate it. Honestly, is it groundbreaking or amazing? No, but It's good.
I have another one. Turning Red. Watch Turning Red. It's
yeah.
so good. It's so good.
So I like Turning Red a lot. I love the messages that it sends as a whole, as a movie. I was like meh about it, like but I think that's a generational thing. Like I was the age that they are and the time frame that they are, I was way beyond that in early 2000s, whatever. But like, it's still a good movie. It's still an enjoyable movie. I also was never obsessed with boy bands, so that was a little bit like, nah, I don't. I have nothing.
I understood it 100%.
Yeah. So I had no immediate like attachment to like a lot of the parts of the storyline, but agree with you, Bekah. Like it's a good movie and it has some really, really, really good messages. Like I knew that Dean wouldn't really enjoy it. He's iffy about animated movies in general a lot of the time. Like he was okay with Encanto, but like it was like, yeah, it's good, it's fine. So Cam and I watched Turning Red together, and we're both like crying through the end of it and everything.
Oh yeah, I cried a lot.
Yeah, I cried a lot too. Even though I personally do not have like a huge like connection or attachment to a lot of what was going on exactly. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. So yeah, agree.
It was basically like one of the very rare movies that my mom didn't sleep through. Because mostly when we are watching movies, my mom just goes to sleep for 10 to 15 minutes during the movie.
Dude, I know that feeling.
Like
at random points.
Dean sleeps through like half of what we watch. TV shows, movies, whatever. That is definitely an age thing.
Yeah. But she didn't sleep through this movie, and I was like, okay, that's a winner right there. Okay.
Yeah, it's very cute. It's very cute. Like I said, like even as somebody who doesn't necessarily have the connection or attachment to what all is happening in the movie, I still recognize it as a good movie.
A good movie, yeah. Mm-hmm. At least watch it once. For those of you who haven't watched it, at least watch it once.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Did you have any other recommendations, Farid?
Nah, Turning Red, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Activities and conventions. I mean,
Ice and Fire Con.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wearing my Westeros and American Musical t-shirt, so Ice and Fire Con.
I'm wearing nothing. I mean, I'm wearing a dress, but you know what I mean.
I'm wearing nothing. Oh, really, Bekah? How are those bazongas doing?
They are contained. These bazongas are perfectly contained.
Yeah, as of tomorrow, we are 30 days out from Ice and Fire Con. So I'm, stressed and busy but also like, my God, I can't fucking wait. It's been 3 years. By the time we all get back together, it will have been 3 years. I can't wait. We had our schedule got put out, actually, I think right after our last Bitching Dead episode. So we've got some really, really good things happening. It's a little bit sparser than it was in like 2019, just because we have had a lot of people who were supposed to come who can't for one reason or another, because it's been years since this convention has been like on the books or whatever. But yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait to be back in person with my peeps. So other than that, that's about it.
All right. Cool. We're just coming at an perfect end, because my tummy has started to hurt very badly. All right. So outro. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry. Jesus. This has been Bekah, Farid, and Tara bitching about stuff and things with the Bitching Dead. Thank you again for joining us. Please follow the Bitching Dead and the Geekery on Twitter. Remember, we are a free webcast run off of donations from viewers like you. That's you. Thank you for contributing and helping our host site, The Geekery. Goodbye.